Hi, my name is Barry Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around our Nissan Juke, then I'll take you for a ride in it, but first I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It's a 1.5 dCi N Connecta Euro 6, 2016 on a 16 plate, really nice specification, 2 registered owners. The last one has had it for a good while. She just got a new company car and we actually bought it. She came to the garage and asked us if we wanted to buy it, and we did, which kind of again speaks volumes about the car, because we didn't have to buy it, we didn't have to take it in part exchange, we chose to buy it, so we must think it's a good car. MOT's till the 13th of 10 2023. As I say, it was last serviced 12th of 10 2022. It's done 55,819 miles. Fuel economy, urban 64.2 miles per gallon, extra urban 74.3 miles per gallon, and combined is 70.6 miles per gallon. Has a 0 to 60 time of 11 seconds, a top speed of 109 miles per hour out of a 4-cylinder 108 brake horsepower 8-valve engine. Road tax, because it's so economical and got such a low CO2 emission, that's only £20 for 12 months. So on the car, really good specification. I mean, that's the key, nice little remote key. It's got keyless lock, keyless entry, keyless start, power folding door mirrors. There's a sill protector at the bottom, plastic sill protector. The wheel arches, the edges of the wheel arches have all got protective plastic mouldings. The headlamps, quite a good design in my opinion. The other day somebody had been looking around my Range Rover, and I always have the lights set to automatic. Now, they must have switched them on, and honestly, I drove home virtually in the pitch black. Obviously there's other cars on the road with no lights on. It will have had the side lights on, so nobody was, you know, the running lights, so nobody was flashing me even. But these days with cars, when you switch the ignition on, the way the dashboards are these days, especially the LED or LCD dashboards, they light up straight away, and that's how you used to know in the old days whether you had your lights on or not, because you couldn't see your instrument cluster. Oh, can't see my instruments, must switch my lights on, and that's how it works, but not these days. However, with these, you can actually see they're kind of like bug eye headlamps, and you can see the top of them from the driver's seat, so you know when they're on or not. So I quite like those. Got rear privacy glass, integrated tailgate, spoiler on the back. On the front there's a lower kind of chin spoiler, which reminds me of a Ferrari 250 GTO. I know it's about as far as you can get from a 250 GTO, but it reminds me of one. Back seats, you've got the ISOFIX rear child seat anchor points. I'm going to start the engine because it's blooming freezing. So that's the key. Foot on the clutch. There's the start button, and that's it. Now, service history. There we go. Service history, 24th of 5th 2017 at 10,568 miles. Motor point, 26th of 6th 2018.
But a silent.
Audio book, sorry, 26th of 6th 2018 at 22,514 miles. Chorley Nissan, 3rd of the 9th 2019 at 33,863 miles. Sedgley Garage, 21st of 9th 2020 at 37,928 miles. Low Bank Motors, 28th of 10th 2021 at 46,345 miles. Koppel Motors, 12th of 10th 2022 at 55,672 miles. Koppel Motors. So great service history, not long been done. No, the car's looks black, but when the sunlight's on it, which it actually was before for a few seconds, it kind of looks a reddy brown. So there's plenty of metallic in the paint. Looks good. It's a nice colour. Cloth and suede seats inside. A couple of quirks. It was pitch black when I set off to come up here this morning, and I couldn't for the life of me see the fan. The heater's there, and it shows the fan up there, but then you think, oh, it'll be this one, but it's not. That's for this little display in the centre. That's for recirculating air and fresh air, and that's for putting the air on your screen and your rear screen. And I was sat here looking at it before, and you know, the last thing I will ever do is look in a handbook. So to work the fan, you have to click the climate, and then you use this button. There is actually a fan emblem there, but for some reason before I couldn't see it. Right, we'll get going. And actually, I'll turn that fan down, especially so it doesn't go on the cameras. So we've got height adjustable steering wheel there, multifunction. It's a nice driving position. Actually, it's sunny that way. That way it looks like the end of the world. I don't fancy going down the motorway today, so I'm going to go this way. So good elevated seating position. I like the gearbox. The gearbox has a sort of very easy into neutral without too much pressure on the clutch. Makes for nice gear changes. You can be coming out of gear before you've depressed the clutch fully, and by the time you get to the neutral, your foot's down and it just slips into gear like so. Good gearbox, I like it. Handy size, the car, just right. Got many characteristics of these. It reminds me of one of these, what's that rally, the Sahara rally, something like that. And you see all these kind of dune buggies flying off the edge of huge sand hills. And this has the same sort of lines, the same sort of shape as that, the kind of pointed front, a bit like a Cayenne front really, that sort of shape anyway. Or the design, it's got pretty much everything you need. Little armrest here, which can be a bit creaky. Actually, it's not, now I've done it, it's not creaked, so I've cured it. Sat nav, Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming. The sat nav, I'll just put the map on so you can see where we are. You can adjust that so you can see better and reduce the scale. So it doesn't look so bad here now, but I can assure you it's wild. It really is windy and horrendous. So, not being affected by the crosswind, it's not blowing the vehicle about. That's quite nice. The climate control here. So you've got climate there, and you've got D mode. You've also, well, it is way over complicated, because now it's on climate. That's why I couldn't see that, because if I click it on D mode, there you go, it's a completely different set of controls for the same buttons. So that's D mode, and you can see there it's showing you G-force, and you can change information there, set up drive info, eco info. You can then change also from, that's normal gearing, that's sport, that's eco. So all the same buttons in the center and the display. If you click on climate, it then becomes immediately obvious. There's the fan. Duh. 50 years motor trade pass. But why design it like that? I mean, that's just too complicated. But as I say, mystery solved. So that's in eco at the moment. I don't want it in eco. It sucks the life out of every car you drive. So we'll put it in D mode. I don't want it in sport either, because I think that goes too far. So normal's good. Soaking up the bumps pretty good. In the centre of the dash, you've got rev counter on the left, speedo on the right. Right in the centre you've got information display, that's telling me the miles. Seats are nice and comfortable. I would say they're on the firm side of normal, but really good. And come on, Mr. Pheasant, get out. Go on. Yeah, suede, the sports seats, nice pattern there, and then the hexagonal pattern in the centre. That's kind of velour, that's cloth, and that is perhaps the same velour, but just with a plain pattern. Down here, power folding door mirrors. It is a nice design, and you can, although from where the back of the headlights are, there's still, what, 18 inches possibly to the front of the car, but it makes it nice and easy to park. You can see where it is. I'm not just sure. Here we go. If you go into D mode and turn that a bit, let's see, drive info. That's your trip computer there. Turn it again, you've got G-force. It's not. I don't think you can put enough G-force on it to make it register in this. The suspension's too good. Telling me when to change gear in the centre. There you go, just turn the scale down on the map there, that's where we are. In the hills. What have we got there? That's just changing the center display. Tell me how many miles I've got before I have to fill up. Miles per gallon, showing 54.2. Must be a trip counter. Oh no, that was hours, sorry. All stuff that you never usually use. That was a brave bird, it never moved. Not a fantastic amount of room in the boot, but still not bad. I've got my big camera case in there, tripod, a couple of coats. The back seats fold down. The independently 60/40 split. That's my other place to go photographing cars. 9:05 in the morning. Done a day's work already. Beats me why these, no it doesn't, they get shot if they take off. They're not as daft as you think. So lovely to drive. Got a bit of space there in the armrest. Underneath, your climate stroke, everything else controls here. On the right hand side you've got a USB in, also auxiliary in. I think that's probably a power socket, yeah. Gearbox is quite long-legged really, hence the fuel economy. I think in some situations you do have to make the gearbox work, but not necessarily a bad thing. It is a different design. And I suppose the thing with Nissan is that we were talking about, a customer came in and was talking about Audis, and where a lot of people will start on a, you know, the basic when they're younger, they start on a little car and then they move up. If they like the range, they'll move up to the next model and the next and the next. And I get the corporate identity, but with things like Audis, the Q series, they all look the same. And I'm sure I've heard this somewhere else, and I've borrowed it off somebody else, but they look like those Russian dolls, and it just looks like you could fit all the Audi models into, you know, into the big one after the other, because they're all the same shape. Now this, you know, the X-Trail, it's kind of a square thing, and then you've got this underneath it, and it's, you know, it's all rounded and shaped and so on. So I like the design. Pheasants jumping out on me. You know, it's good to drive. So you can drive it quite fast if you want to. We'll just put that in sport for a second, but we're just going to meet this car right in a bend. He's seen me too, and there's a good driver. You always seem to meet somebody either on the brow of a hill or right on the tightest part of the road. That's just down there. You're just 6 inches further and you're in a stream. Certain death corner too. It's not just cars coming around the bend, it's people reversing that out there. I would never flipping drive head first into that car park. You just can't see anything coming. And motorbikes down here. It's very, very popular with motorbikes. And some of them don't hang about. Langdon Grill not there. I may have to go to Chipping Farm Shop. Starving. Anyway, what else about the car? Cruise control on the right hand side here. That looks like it could be speed limiter. That's cruise. Oh, here we go, yeah. Now, did I see another car coming? I thought I saw a flash down there, but I could be wrong. Yeah, must have been a pheasant. Nice steering, responsive. It's a good car. One of my mates is looking for one of these, but he wants an automatic. Certainly the economy you can't knock. £20 a year road tax. And I read somewhere the other day that the government are thinking of putting road tax on electric cars now. An electric, if you charge in a public, especially on the motorway, it's as dear as petrol. You know, certainly for reps, you know, I walk past places and I see the staff outside. You go Winkley Square around the solicitors, and the staff are all stood outside having a fag. So by the time it takes them to walk outside, have the cigarette and then walk back in, they probably work about 2 hours less a day than somebody who doesn't smoke. And then you've got people who drive electric cars, and they go out on a job in their electric car and then pull up at a charging station and have 2 or 3 hours while the car's charging up. No doubt then they'll go and have a fag, so it won't get any work done at all. Whereas with the diesel, it takes you 2 minutes. I put fuel in on the way here this morning. Fuel station was full last night when I was coming home, and I hate doing it first thing in the morning, but you know, it just takes 2 minutes. Whereas obviously with an electric car, I'd have been absolutely goose this morning. So it's a great car. I like it. Nice and comfortable, and I can't find anything wrong with this at the moment. But then again, I shouldn't do, because it's only just been serviced. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.